And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Monday, October 7th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. Should I sing dynamite, dynamite when bandies start to fight? Oh, what a ball game. What a ball game. Might be Vanderbilt's greatest football win in the history of its program, to knock off number 1 Alabama. Anyway, we're on the air here this morning for Absolute Kubota, and Absolute Kubota is located at 1506 West Main in Lebanon. We normally talk to Matt Bryson, occasionally with Ryan Cornwell, who's in sales, and even Clint Kelly in the service department from time to time. This morning, you're going to have to listen to me a little bit, but just remember, it's your property, your equipment, your budget, your Kubota. And at Absolute Kubota, they specialize in the sale of Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. They also carry X-Mark mowers, one of the top-selling zero-turn mowers in the country. And, of course, the location is 1506 West Main in Lebanon, and you can see all those tractors, the hay equipment, the zero-turn mowers, the RTVs. You'll find not only Kubota, but you'll see the brand Land Pride and Hustler, and they also have X-Mark. All of this is available there. Red Max trimmers and blowers. Really, they have everything from weed eaters to hay balers. The Red Max outdoor power equipment is versatile, it's lightweight, it's powerful, and it has been the choice of professionals for over 20 years. The Strato-charged engine is up to 20% more fuel efficient without compromising power to save you money, and it's available only from Red Max. And with their efficient engine design, Red Max has a chainsaw, grass trimmer, leaf blower, edger, or hedge clipper for every landscaping need around your home without polluting the neighborhood. So visit Absolute Kubota, your Red Max dealer. Commercial lawn equipment, all of this, again, at 1506 West Main here in Lebanon. And you can always give them a call at 615-449-6171 and see why you just can't beat the quality of the products that they offer. So, we certainly have appreciated having them and hope to continue our relationship. One of the things we hear in the other commercials that they do here, and that is write it off their lot, write it off your taxes. And as we get closer to the end of the year, that might be a good idea when you can do that. Write it off your taxes and. Depending on your situation, perhaps, and that may vary from year to year, but as we get more towards the end of the year, that's something to consider, and we certainly hope that you will. And again, we remind you that they are open. Right now, they're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to noon, and you'll find them at their website, www.absolutekubota.com. And Billy Goodman is joining me here. You got anything to say about Absolute Kubota?
Well, I think they've been a fine business for this community, and they bring a lot of value to it.
Yeah, Matt Bryson really started something, and he takes a lot of pride in whatever it is he does. But I think he spends a lot of time and puts a lot of effort into the product and the way business is taken care of at Absolute Kubota and out here most Mondays. We certainly appreciate him and the good job that he's done, and to have them as one of our advertisers here. R.K. Grooms is going to be calling in this morning as my guest, and you can probably tell us a little bit about him. I honestly have not met R.K., but he does the Friday night scoreboard.
Yes, has been for a couple of years with John Boyce.
And so we thought it would be nice to have him with us, and I think he's on the phone right now. But anything else you want to say something about the Vanderbilt victory over Alabama?
The only thing I'll say is my brother is always, since he was a little kid, been a big Vanderbilt fan. And I talked to him Saturday before the game, and he was talking about how he may not even watch this game because he felt like they were going to get beat by Alabama because Alabama's the number one team in the country.
Right.
And he thought, they're going to lose so bad, I don't really want to watch it. Then I didn't find out till the next day Vanderbilt won.
Well, thanks for sticking your head in the door here this morning, but you can sit there. Let's get going here and go to the telephone. Archie Grooms, are you there? Good morning. Have we got all the buttons pushed right, Billy?
I think so.
Well, I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't either.
MJ, can you want to check us and make sure? I will. I'll turn our phone mic off, and Archie talked with him last week, and he was going to try to make it live, but he might have to babysit. And I got a text from him this morning that he was going to have to call in because he did get a babysitter. All right, let's see if we're ready now. All right, Archie, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning to you. Good to hear your voice. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a great weekend, coming off a lot of great football. You know, I always enjoy that.
Well, you do the Friday night scoreboard throughout the football season, and I guess you maybe 2/3 of the way through that, or at least halfway through it by now.
Yes, sir. It's I believe we just got through with week 7 of the high school football season, so it's been a good 7-8 weeks. I believe we've been in the studio.
Well, how did this come about? No doubt you are a big football fan, and I think you are a star player at Lebanon High School. So I guess it's right down your alley, as we say.
Yeah, basically. So John and I actually started playing basketball together at 13, and he graduated the year before me at Lebanon High. And I believe John and Susie had the idea a few years ago. I'm not real sure about how long ago, but I played football in college, and I finally was at the opportunity to come and join John on the show and really just kind of put my stamp on it. I love football. I played in college, played at Lebanon High School. I graduated from there in 2004. John graduated from Lebanon High School in 2003. So, we're just really old friends and get to talk about something we love, and that's sports.
Where did you go to college?
Tennessee Tech in Cookeville.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar. I did too.
Awesome. Little Golden Eagle alum. Yes, sir.
Well, now I want to correct one thing. I tell people that I went through college. I went through the front door and out the back door.
Went through college. Yes, sir.
I did not graduate from Tech, but I have 2 sons that did. So maybe that makes up for a little bit of it. But anyway, this and you've known John Boyce for a while. And so I guess that didn't hurt in getting your role on the scoreboard.
Not at all. He's a great friend of mine. We began playing basketball in the mid-'90s on Market Street, and we played at Lebanon High under Coach Hutto, and like I said, we just remained friends ever since. Hadn't seen him in a while, but he's a jack of all trades. So I ran into him one night, and he asked me if I would be available to assist. And like I said, anytime I can talk football and get to do it about one of my favorite things, my alma mater, Lebanon High, why not?
What do you do for a real job?
So I work for Dollar General Corporation. I basically am in charge of our compliance from a entry standpoint nationwide across all of our 50 states. So my technical role would be the senior manager of the risk management program for Dollar General.
And you go all over the country?
I don't. Unfortunately, I work from the house, so I actually work from my upstairs up here in Watertown. So I don't travel as much as I used to since I've had kids and everything. So,
well, tell us about your family.
I've got a 13-year-old that's an 8th grader at Watertown, member of the football, basketball, track teams out there. And I've got a 9-year-old that's a soccer and a basketball and a track kid. So they're always active, a lot like me. Very good kids, students, straight A's in school. And honestly, just, day to day and which practice am I taking them to today or tomorrow? So trick out my calendar up with the dots, trying to color coordinate, get them everywhere.
So 2 sons, right?
A boy and a girl, 13-year-old son and 9-year-old daughter.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't say, I don't believe. So, okay. But you're talking about all the sport. Well, the daughter's involved in sports almost as much as the son, it sounds like.
Actually, she'd probably be a little bit more. Yeah. She wants to do it all. She is a sports fanatic. She's more of the active sports too. We were doing the gymnastics, and she wasn't. It was a little too slow for her. She's a lot like me. She wants that fast pace. She loves basketball and soccer. Those are her favorite too, probably. So, or actually flag football. I'm sorry. She loves flag football since it's a girls sanctioned sport in the Tennessee high school area. Now it's becoming a sanctioned sport for little girls all the way down to kindergarten.
All right. Well, I want you to hold on. We've already reached the point that we're supposed to take a break. Archie Grooms is my guest this morning. He's speaking by phone, does the Friday night scoreboard here, football scoreboard, and we're going to get into a little bit more football talk after we go to a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, get a battery installed in most vehicles, $149.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still working with a couple of accidents out here. Watching it pick up with more volume on 65 southbound at Long Hollow Pike. All that traffic making its way down through Robertson County into the section of Sumner County here through Millersville. Traffic still building, but it's moving fairly decent on 24 westbound up to the Antioch area coming in from Murfreesboro. Whether you need a new roof repair, roof inspection, anything going on with your roof, call Independent Roofing Specialist. Check out their website, irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like the Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S., Z-Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 72 months, plus save up to $1,300. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main, Lebanon.
Hello, I'm Jerry Ashley, and I'm running for Lebanon City Council Ward 2. I have a strong business background and a genuine desire to bring our ward to a better place. Ward 2 deserves more. I will fight for better services, amenities, and infrastructure improvements for our ward. On Election Day, please consider me, Jerry Ashley, as your candidate for City Council Ward 2, and together we can build a stronger community where everyone is heard because every person's voice matters.
Paid for by committee to elect Jerry Ashley.
Please join us at our 14th annual Ghost in the Grove walking tours. Storytellers share tales of ghostly encounters and local folklore in your night with a trolley ride through the spooky woods. Friday, October 11th and Saturday, October the 12th. Tours begin at 6 p.m. with the last at 9. Discount tickets are available at fiddlersgrovetn.com or at the gate. Children 5 and under are free. Music and food will be available as you wait for your tour. Located at the James E. Ward Agricultural Center in Lebanon. Rain or shine.
All right, we continue here on this Monday morning. With me by phone is Archie Grooms, and to kind of introduce him again, he does the Friday night scoreboard here on WANT, WCOR, and played sports at Lebanon High, went to Tennessee Tech, now employed by Dollar General, and has spare time to do a little radio, and we'd certainly appreciate him taking time to be with us this morning. But you did mention babysitting, and that you could not, it didn't work out for you to come and be live in studio, but I think you're doing a great job, and you're coming in fine here on the phone this morning. Did you, when you decided to join up for the scoreboard, any apprehension on your part? I mean, was it just hey, they want me, I'd love to do it? What was it like?
It was a little nerve wracking at first. You know, just being live on anything is a little nerve wracking at first. You know, you really want to be on cue, make sure you're researched and just know your stuff. But you know, once you kind of get out there and like I said, you know, being able to talk is one of my favorite things to do. If anybody knows me, I love to talk, and especially talk sports. And then talk about my alma mater, Lebanon High School, and the other area high schools in Wilson County, and the type of football products we're putting out. It was a no-brainer. It's an opportunity to really, you know, be able to do something I love and you know, kind of enjoy a Friday night from a different perspective. So
let's talk about the team this year. It's kind of been, I guess, a rebuilding year for the Blue Devils. They've what is their record right now?
I believe they are 3-4, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Played 7 games, won 3, lost 4. Did beat Watertown.
Correct. Yeah, they did. And, I mean, that game right there, you know, when you look at Lebanon High and Watertown, it's a big difference in levels, but at the end of the day, those guys are all friends, grew up together. So, I don't want to say the hate, but the dislike is definitely there. Any chance they get a chance to go out there and compete, you know, there was a hard-fought game, and then they had the Hurricane Helene coming in as well. So it was probably one of the uglier games we'll see this year. But, you know, thankfully everyone came out of there pretty free from injury, and it was a competitive game. Lebanon ended up pulling away by about 3 scores, but it was a good night out in Watertown.
Well, Watertown's maybe one of their greatest victories, kind of like Vanderbilt on Saturday night. Was up in Lafayette years ago when Lebanon went up there pretty much thinking all they had to do was show up and win. And I understand that Coach Tribble had even alerted the freshman coach to dress out some of your guys. They'll probably get to play. And as we all know, Watertown managed to kick a field goal and win that game 9-7. And the Lebanon players some of them haven't got over it yet, but it's football. So you've heard a lot about that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, just a small quick story. We were at the my father was actually inducted into the Watertown High School Sports Hall of Fame last weekend, and I was a Lebanon High graduate, but we were up there at the Hall of Fame dinner, and it was a gentleman there that had actually graduated in that class that won that game with Watertown, and he was telling us all about it. They definitely still haven't forgotten to play from that day. So it's definitely a thing of legend in Watertown when they beat Lebanon. Like you said, it was 68, I believe. So a little bit before my time, but yeah, they definitely remember that real well out there.
Well, there used to be a gentleman here named Harold Patton who went to Watertown and played football for Watertown, and he told me that when he was, I think he was a junior or senior in high school, and they played Lebanon. It might have been the last time that they had played Lebanon for all those years, because Lebanon just ran away with them. And that night that the coach, the Watertown coach, sat there with his knife and a stick of wood in his hand whittling, and the boys just went in and out of the ball game as they wanted to, pretty much. And I think the score was something like 60 or 70 to nothing, and that was the last time they played for a long time. Might even been until they played up in Lafayette, but I don't know. I'm not that good a historian. But anyway, we can go back, we can stay with the present or whatever. But football is football. It has changed a lot. I'll bet, RK, you've seen a lot of change, even on the high school level, of the way football is played and prepared for, and the technical part of it that seems to just continue to change.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just like even if I started Wilson County, so I graduated high school in 2004. So we played on the old Northwestern field, you know, where the Cumberland University football field is. Very first game, my sophomore year, we played the very first game. Wilson Central opened their doors that day. So I mean, Wilson Central High School, I played them when they first opened. There was no Green Hill. I mean, player safety, you know, there's a lot more emphasis on player safety now between, you know, the CTE and concussions. There is a lot more of an emphasis in regards for the player, and football has gotten a lot safer. But at the end of the day, you know, when will you make it, you know, guys run as fast as they can at 270 pounds safe. So I believe everything's gotten a lot safer. Player rules have been implemented, practicing guidelines. A lot of different things have been done to make it as safe as possible, technology with equipment. But at the end of the day, it's still a game where you've got to, teach good technique and try to have players that, just do things the right way. So I think football has definitely evolved, but it's still a game where you've got to have that practice time and got to have that equipment and players learn and grow on.
I want to throw out another thing to talk about, and that would be, and that's not the only thing, but this is where I want to go next, sportsmanship. I want to think, for the most part, not totally, but for the most part, that we have climbed up a notch or two regarding sportsmanship and how we look at that. I know we'd still have rivalries, and there are teams we want to beat so bad, but what do you think about that?
I do. I think sportsmanship has definitely became, a lot more practice. But with the evolution of cell phones and being able to capture a lot of this stuff now, I think you leave a lot of room where, you don't have an opportunity to do some of those things because it'll get pointed out on camera the next day. There's a saying we used to say back in the day. It was the eye in the sky don't lie, meaning that camera's going to capture it all. So I think it's one of those things where a lot of those guys have to, play with better sportsmanship and just kind of growth. It's been, you got to have some great coaches in place. And specifically speaking to a lot of Wilson County high schools, I know we're a lot of times known for that sportsmanship and great players. So.
Probably another thing that has changed somewhat would be the role that the TSSAA plays. Now, they've always been in charge, I guess, but it seems that maybe they've got their hand in things maybe more than ever, really a controlling entity, which can be good or bad depending on how you look at it and so on. But still, we've come a long way, and we've changed a lot with the way the TSSAA operates, I think. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think they've gotten a lot better in governing. I think there's more opportunities for the student athlete opposed to just, strict rules and regulations that don't really are, I don't want to say out of touch, but they're more geared to the actual student athlete and not so much just rules put on by a governing body. It feels like they've got really a touch. I mean, it kind of goes with the NCAA too. They've gotten a lot more geared towards the player themselves, the player opposed to just themselves. So I think the TSSAA and the governing bodies are really starting to understand that the players kind of control the flow, even though they're a governing body, but the players still got to play and we got to make sure we make decisions based on their best interest. And I think that's an opportunity that they had and they've seen and grown from.
We've just kind of been sitting here talking and whatever comes to mind, which is fine. But again, Archie Grooms is my guest, and he does the Friday night scoreboard. Talk a little bit about that. We've got about 3 minutes here. As far as the scoreboard, like maybe for a typical Friday night from start to finish, for those maybe who haven't heard or would like to become listeners, tell us a little bit about, just kind of preview your scoreboard show.
Okay, well, we talk about all Wilson County high school football as well as all mid-state football. But we specifically gear in for the 6 local teams. You got Lebanon High, Wilson Central, Green Hill, Mount Juliet, Friendship, and then we actually talk about the Tennessee Heat team. That's the homeschool team here in Wilson County representing our community. But we talk about that. It's John Boyce and I are the hosts. We've got Jeremiah Weiser. We've got Jonathan the Jet Thompson. And all 4 of us are actually Lebanon High graduates that roamed the halls together from 2000 to 2004. We were in Lebanon High School together. So I know all those guys real well, but it's something we do for the community. We're able to talk, so we interview all the high school coaches from each school, and we actually, we're able to get a first-hand glance at the games. And then we do about 75 scores across the mid-state. And, I mean, we talk all things football, and we like to have a little fun, too. I like to make a joke or two in there. John likes to just throw a joke or two in there, probably a little more than 2, but we like to have fun. We go on normally most Friday nights after the Lebanon High broadcast that Tommy Bryan's been doing, and that broadcast is normally done around 9 to 9:30, and we'll go on for about 2 hours, and we'll run from 11:30 till about 11:30, 11:45 on a Saturday night. like I said, we know it's a little late, but if you're staying up late and you really want to enjoy some high school football talk, laugh a little, maybe reminisce, feel free to call in and talk to us or just listen and tune in at 98.9 as well.
I understand you even let Mayor Mike Jennings be on every once in a while.
Absolutely. Mayor Mike is one of our favorite callers. He calls in and reports to us about the Watertown game. He gives us all the insight, and that's one of the beautiful things about it. This is local people doing local scores with local dudes. And that's one of our biggest, selling points is, hey, we actually been here. I was actually running that field at Lebanon High, and we've been through all the things these guys are going through. So we're able to really get a firsthand input and talk to people like Mayor Mike and Coach Gentry from Lebanon High and Coach Crouch out at Green Hill, Coach Perry at Mount Juliet, Coach McNeil at Friendship. And we've just been doing great things and trying to, get informed the community and really just have people go out and support these guys on Friday nights. They work so hard and compete. And, football is such a warrior sport. So any support from the community is needed. So we just try to give those guys all that they can and just be a vessel for outreach for them.
All right, RT, we've come to the end of our time here this morning. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate this, and our best to you. And come by and see me sometime.
Absolutely, I will do. Look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you for having me.
All right, RT Groom's my guest, and that is part one of Coleman and Company. Stay with us for more here on FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. Premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 615-449-6171. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Starting to load up a little bit more volume in the last few minutes. Coming up through Antioch, in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, 24 going westbound. Watching it build down. 65 through Millersville. It's gotten heavier in the last 10-15 minutes. 24 east area through the Jolton area, passing Whites Creek Pike. Nash Painting, a non-franchise painting company, mentioned this ad. You get a 10% discount. Call Nash Painting today at 912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Drug-Free Wilco is partnering with local law enforcement agencies for National Drug Take-Back Day on Saturday, October 26. Drop-off locations will be at Gibbs Pharmacy, Walgreens on West Main, Three Forks Marketplace, and TriStar Mount Judd ER. Unused medications are a public safety issue that may lead to accidental poisoning, overdose, or misuse. Drop them off Saturday, October 26 from 10 to 2. Receive a free lockbox from Drug-Free Wilco. This project is funded under a grant contract with State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
We'll have sunny skies and cooler conditions for today. Highs in the mid-70s. Clear tonight, lows in the upper 40s. We remain sunny and nice for our Tuesday. Highs in the middle 70s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your Severe View forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
We continue here on this Monday morning. Welcome to our program. Hope you had a nice weekend. We want to welcome Gail Hellam now, Director of Marketing and Events for the Farm Bureau Expo Center. Good morning.
Good morning.
Believe it or not, I'm sitting here with two ladies, and we were talking football during the break.
What can I say? I don't do that often.
But it was an unusual weekend. It's unusual. I won't say it's unusual for Vanderbilt to win, but it's unusual for them to beat Alabama. And when Alabama is number one and they get knocked off, and they went on the field and tore down the goalpost, and one of them anyway, and threw it in the Cumberland River, and they're going to have to pay $100,000, but that's okay. There are some rich benefactors that won't mind, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Gail, how are you?
There's always good in a good upset. So, yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. I don't know what that, if anything, probably nothing that has to do with the Farm Bureau Expo Center, but at least it still makes conversation for us this morning.
Well, we have sports at the Expo Center, so, you know.
Yeah. What do you like to talk about this morning?
Well, we've had a great October so far, and we just rolled out of having mistletoe merchants there, and the Quilting and Sewing Show, and both of them were very well attended and great shows to have. And we are going to be rolling into the TriStar AKC Kennel Club will be here. And last year, before he came, Thomas Wright, their president, was here and talked about the show and the involvement. One thing I really appreciate about that particular show is the leadership of the show, led by Thomas Wright. They are very intentful to be in Wilson County and to be supportive of what is important to Wilson County. So they always donate money back to the county in some fashion or another. They kind of rotate it around based on what the current trend is at the moment. And they are coming out of Williamson County. So they have chosen to be in Wilson County, out of Williamson County. And, we appreciate that. Yeah. We appreciate the fact that they choose to be with us. And their show has grown so much over the past 3 years in particular that they just keep adding days to their show. They'll start moving in on Wednesday and they'll be here through the Sunday. So they'll be here for quite a long time. And that's a lot of dogs, by the way, a lot of dogs. But it's fun to see the dogs. It's fun to see the dogs compete. The interaction between the owners and the dogs is always interesting and sometimes entertaining. But they do a great job. They do a great job, and they love being here.
And what do you what has contributed to their growth, the growth of the show, that it's bigger and better and so on?
Well, I will say that the standards that Thomas Wright and the leadership team put in producing that show are commendable, very commendable. Anybody else that tries to talk to me about having a dog show at the expo, I use them as the benchmark. This is a standard I expect. And if you can't meet that standard, I don't want to have that. I don't want to have a dog show here. And, we don't allow pets in the expo. So they only do the showing in the expo. They use some of the buildings behind us for other things like grooming and that type of stuff. So we're very particular in what we allow them to do in the expo, but they have their banquets at the expo. They have their show at the expo. They have buildings in the back. And the standards that they use, we are comfortable with, and we have worked together. There's always hiccups in a show, so we always address them. But their attitude and the way that they approach their show and how they have pretty much a zero tolerance of anything that is outside the AKC standard, I think it sets the precedence, and I think that's what helps them grow, is because they have a standard and they maintain it.
So, and then that kind of works well for both of you. You both have some high standards that you try to stay with.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Like, you will not groom dogs in the expo. Dogs will not traverse back and forth across the hallway because it scratches up the floor. We don't allow the dogs in South Hall because that is used a lot for banquets or any kind of eating environment. So absolutely not. And then, of course, we clean it really well when they leave. So
but they probably appreciate your high standards as well.
They do.
As well as having those of their own.
That's correct. That's one of the reasons why they choose the expo.
Yeah.
So we're very excited to have them back. Always excited to see them.
What else is on your agenda in the near future?
Well, we have a women's show coming up right after that, and I really would encourage people to come out and check it out. It's the first time the show has been produced, and it's by one of our local people, so, supporting local. She's worked very, very hard to have a great variety of set up for conversations, information, resources, activities that are all designed to build up and support women.
Well, you just keep adding on, it seems. We have something, not every week, something new to talk about, but quite frequently you do. And I think this means you're certainly not finished. You haven't had every kind of show you want to have there yet. There's
That's
still
correct.
Some new ones to come along.
Okay, so it's sort of like my competition. I'm not fighting another teams per se, but I'm fighting myself because I know the kinds of things that we're trying to get. So, it's a process. It's a process. But when We just had Mistletoe Merchants recently, too. And when Mistletoe comes to me and says, we'd like to add a third show, that's the kind of compliment that I like.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being here each week to just kind of let us know what's happening out there. And it kind of, if you pass by there, as I do quite frequently, you wonder maybe what's happening. But just to see something there nearly all the time is, in my way of saying it, a feather in your cap. You're keeping the place busy and booked up.
Well, the whole team works very hard to make sure that building stays clean and ready for our event planners. I'll tell you the biggest compliment that we've received in the past few weeks was the head of the comptroller office, the state comptroller office, was there. They're there. They've been there for the past 2 years. And in his words, we will be here every year for as long as you are big enough to hold our event.
Yeah.
And that's a huge compliment.
It isn't it? It sure is. Well, we're out of time. Gail, thanks for being with us. Have a great week.
Hey, you too.
See you next Monday.
All right, sounds good.
Gail Hallam, Director of Marketing and Events for the Farm Bureau Expo Center. We're about 20 minutes. Let's make it 21 minutes before 8 o'clock. And I have invited Tammy Smith to come back today. Tammy is the Administrator of Elections for Wilson County. A big job, but she's up to the task. But when she was here 2 weeks ago, we didn't get everything discussed that she wanted to talk about, and I said, all right, you can come back. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are things?
Busy. We're extremely busy in our office right now.
Well, it's, a month from last
It's less than a month
Saturday.
now.
It's the 5th of November, and today is wait a minute.
Today's the 7th.
Today's the 7th. Right. Okay, that calendar's turned right away. Okay, we are, 20-something days away from the election, but early voting.
So actually today is the last day for voter registration. So today, if you are not registered and you're listening, today is the last day that you can register to vote. You can do that in person at our office located at 230 East Gay Street here in Lebanon. You can go online at govotn.com if you have a Tennessee driver's license. And if you don't, you can do in person at our office or download the form and mail it in. It has to be postmarked by today.
And if you're not sure whether you're registered or not,
they can call our office, 615-444-0216.
Is that the best thing to do, the easiest, and you can tell them
it is
immediately?
Yeah, because what we're finding is there are some groups that has outdated information databases, and so it's making people think that they're not registered when they actually are. So they're doing the right thing and calling our office. So that's what you need to do to make sure you're registered. Call the office.
615-444-0216.
That's correct.
All right. What all do we need to discuss today?
Well, that was the main thing. I want to make sure everybody gets registered to vote, because if you miss it today, you're just not going to be able to vote in the election.
And there's nothing you can do about that, is there?
There is state law. So it always there's a deadline for voter registration. It's 30 days.
And that, I guess that would be at closing, when your office closes today?
Yeah, we close at 4:30. So you have to 4:30 today. So, and then after that, we're just preparing for the election. Early voting starts October 16th through the 31st. We have 4 locations. Our office in Lebanon, 230 East Gay Street, Mount Juliet Community Center, and the City of Mount Juliet's been gracious enough to let us use the whole gym. So we have plenty of space over there. Glayville Community Center and Watertown Community Center, all of those locations will be open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturdays, 8 to 1.
And, of course, adequately staffed for that.
That's correct.
What are you expecting regarding early voting? Do you have any indication as to how heavy it might be?
Last November of 2020, we voted 77% early. So if you want to prevent lines, you need to vote early, because if everyone shows up on election day, you certainly will be waiting quite a while. So we just encourage everyone to get out and vote early. And you never know what's going to happen. You know, with the hurricane recently, we've had a tornado before on election day. You just don't know what could happen on election day. So early voting is a great opportunity to get your vote cast.
We have had over the years maybe a few instances, if you break down maybe about, I think, a very precious few things that have really been of great concern. but you try to be prepared for anything and everything. So you probably go to unusual lengths, especially in a big presidential election, to do your very best to make sure we don't have any glitches.
Yeah, we do. Part of what we do in our off years is prepare for the what ifs that can happen in elections. So, it's not perfect. At the end of the day, it's still people running elections, and, you hope that we get it right. But, and we certainly try to, and most everything we do is absolutely 100% correct. But it's a challenge. We're dealing with lots of different avenues of things that can happen between cybersecurity, physical security, tornadoes, weather events, whatever. We're trying to prepare for the what ifs. So we do that every single day.
Well, you have quite a bit of training, and you have a lot of, let's say, veterans, if you want to refer them, that people who have worked with you for a good while, who have quite a bit of experience in doing elections, right?
We do. We have a really good core group of individuals. We, depending on the election, it determines how many we use each election, but we do have a really good core group, and then we're just filling holes with new people. So this last round of training, we actually had full days of training, and they came in. They get paid very little to do that, but we did a lot of role playing, and then I fed them lunch, so that helps. And I did not use county funds. Just let me make that clear, out of my pocket.
Feed them, they will come.
That's right. But they love to just learn more. We have a group that pushes me to give them more training, and that's a great place to be, because a lot of counties are trying to recruit and still they don't have enough people to work. We're not in that situation. I actually have to turn individuals down that want to work because we have so many people that come back every election.
And I would guess that I'm sure they appreciate the pay, but I don't think they're doing it for what they get out of it.
No, it's more of a civic duty. They get a stipend for working, obviously, but it's really about civic duty and just trying to keep elections fair and honest, because honestly, we have both parties involved in running elections. You have to by law, and everyone's there for the checks and balances to make sure we're running fair and honest elections.
Tammy Smith, the Administrator of Elections, is my guest this morning right here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford. Get a regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts oil. Tax and disposal, $17.80 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Starting to load up a little bit more volume in the last few minutes, coming up through Antioch, in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County on 24 going westbound. Watching it build down. 65 through Millersville. It's gotten heavier in the last 10, 15 minutes. 24 east area through the Jolton area, passing Whites Creek Pike. Nash Painting, a non-franchise painting company, mentioned this ad. You get a 10% discount. Call Nash Painting today at 912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, this is Dr. Derek Gregory, and I'm proud to announce to you the opening of our brand new dental practice, Gregory Dental Group, at 1746 West Main Street, just across the road from Sports Village. Come experience modern dentistry at its best. We're always welcoming new patients, and I truly look forward to taking the best care of all your dental needs. Come by or call us today.
That's Gregory Dental Group, 615-444-0322, or online at myLebanonTNDentist.com. Gregory Dental Group, compassion, knowledge, skill.
Need a venue for your next corporate training, meeting, luncheon, or customer appreciation event? These are just a few of the event options that the Farm Bureau Expo Center can accommodate within its 79,000 square feet of adaptable event space. The Farm Bureau Expo Center offers unparalleled versatility for corporate events in Wilson County. Come on by and check us out. For booking details as well as upcoming events, visit farmbureauexpo.com or find us on Facebook. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Farm Bureau Expo.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. And a good morning and welcome to our final segment here for a Monday morning. Tammy Smith is the Administrator of Elections for Wilson County, and she is with us this morning. Now, we'll start back and tell the people what you said when you first came on this morning. Today is the last day
to register to vote. So you need to get registered, either in person at our office, online at govotetn.com, or send the form in that has to be postmarked by today.
And if you're not sure, you can call the Election Commission office, and that's fine for you. You're glad
That's
for
correct.
people to call and ask. You can check quickly and at 615-444-0216 and find out if there's any question in your mind as to whether you are truly registered. But if you are not and you don't register today after 4:30
You'll miss it.
today, it's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Well, that's one of the bigger things I think we really need to get out this morning, and what you said in the beginning as well. But we've done our part to warn people.
That's right. Well, we have a lot of people moving in, and so
right.
depending on state laws, it varies from state to state. So if you're unsure, call the office today.
And then early voting will start the 16th?
The 16th through the 31st.
And there are 4 locations that you already have mentioned, but you can go on the website and find them out. But there's one here in Lebanon, your office actually,
That's
on
correct.
K Street, in Mount Juliet, and Gladeville, and Watertown.
That's correct.
So 4 convenient places, and usually there's not long lines for early voting. A lot of times you can just go right in, and no wait time even. It's not usually that way on Election Day.
No, it isn't. And, early voting is going to be busy, too, this time, because when you're talking about a 78 to 80% turnout versus our 13 to 18% turnout, it is going to be a little bit busier. But, again, early voting is the best option just because you don't know what could happen on Election Day, and you don't want to miss your opportunity to vote.
Okay, and again, that's the 16th through
the 31st.
So through once it starts on the 16th through the end of the month, and then Election Day, of course, the 5th. It's always the Tuesday after the first Monday. I think that's what's written in our Constitution.
Yep.
The presidential election, anyway. And then we went through this the last time you were here, but there's more than one election. Actually, we have some local elections, we have some state offices, and of course the presidential thing. And anything you want to say about that this morning?
So the sample ballot is on our website, wilsontnvotes.gov. There's also a district lookup tool to see what districts you're in. Everyone will get president. They'll get U.S. Senate, and they will get U.S. Congress, but it could be 5 or 6. So we have 2 congressional districts in this county, and then also there are 3 House districts, Tennessee House districts, 40, 46, and 57. So the district lookup tool is a great way to see what district that you're in, but everyone will have 4 things on their ballot, those 4 items. Depending on where you live, you may see City of Lebanon, City of Mount Juliet, or City of Watertown. So it's just a really good idea for you to go to the district lookup tool to get a sample, and then you can get a sample ballot and be ready to vote.
And then there's even the Cartmel Scholarship.
That's right. That's with the City of Lebanon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only the City of Lebanon, and one person is qualified on that.
That's correct. Yep.
So there's really no controversy there. Is if that person gets one vote, is that do it really?
It is, but they do have to go to Vanderbilt, your favorite school. So they do have to go to Vanderbilt to get the scholarship.
Well, now I like Cumberland too. Dr. Stum may be listed.
Maybe your second favorite.
We
school.
got to mention Cumberland. Well, there's also Tennessee Tech. You have a big choice.
That's right.
But the Cartmel Scholarship was started years ago, and I mean I can remember even when I was in high school, and sometimes you would have some people really competing for that. I haven't noticed that lately, but
no, I don't think we've ever had more than one person on there since I've been in Wilson County. Really? So, and there have been some that have received the scholarship, meaning they went to Vanderbilt and they received the scholarship. I have no idea how much money it is. It varies because they put a trust in place years and years ago. And depending, I guess, the economy will determine how much scholarship is. So I don't know how much it is.
The way that it was set up was for the voters to decide.
That's correct.
And so that's what we're doing.
They have to pick up a petition to get the signatures just like any other candidate would be put on the ballot.
Tammy, you have some seasoned veterans, let's call them, that work with you, people who have been doing this for a number of years, who have come along, learned the role they play, are very important in having a good and fair and an election without any hitches and so on. Do you have somebody coming along? I hope everybody that works with you and helps hold the elections is not almost a senior citizen or something. You have some younger people coming along.
We do have some younger people on our staff now. Of course, with our growth, I have added some staff this last year to our office. I don't have an assistant like I was for Philip. Maybe that'd come along. Just have not found the right person for that role. So I still have very much hands-on into the procedures and the processes in our office. But, it works. We have, everyone has a role, and they do a great job with their roles. But I don't have an assistant like I was. But,
Well, how much longer can you do this and not have one? I mean, I'm assuming you really need somebody.
It would be nice to have someone, but at the same time, I'm going to always be one of those administrators that has my hands in all the pieces because it's ultimately my responsibility. So, and I know how everything works, but I just haven't really found the right person that is this position. Takes special people in the sense that it's the most political, non-political job in the county. So you have to, you can't be political. You have to be willing to tell people, no, I can't do that for you because they will ask. And it just takes special people to be able to do that and not worry about making someone mad because you're following the law. And, everything that we do and I do is following the law. It's pretty black and white, so there's not a lot of gray.
Do you have a problem with that? Hardly ever have a problem?
No. When I first started, I did have people reach out to me and come and wanted to kind of see what kind of person I was, if I was going to be a viable person, I guess you could say. And I don't have that much anymore. And so that's great. I guess I have a reputation of being pretty tough and fair and honest, and that's where it needs to be.
But if you don't follow the law, if you don't go the way the book says do it, then somebody may be coming after you. I mean, just...
I guess, that's true, but, there's not a lot of gray in this business. It is black and white. And, there are a lot of checks and balances to make sure you are following the law. The state is, we have a lot of guidance from the state as well on different things. So there's not a lot of opportunity to not follow the law, to be honest with you, Coleman.
We don't talk about this a lot, but as far as the technology, the tools, if you will, the electronic tools and all that we have, the voting machines, all of this, how are we? And I mean, I guess that we have quite a bit invested in that, but are we pretty much up to date and have the
We are. We bought our system back in 2016, prior to most counties switching over. We have a true paper system, true paper trail system, can be audited, and we are required to do audits after every election. So we have been in the forefront of using technology for many years now. So technology can be your best friend. You have to be careful not to mess up with technology and check everything that you're doing, but it can also streamline your processes and ensure that people are getting the correct ballots. Everything is being done efficiently, and so technology is a good thing. So we've been on the forefront of technology for many, many years now.
Do you have somebody that comes and checks the accuracy? How is that done?
So right now, actually, everything that we do is in-house in our county. We don't have a vendor that comes in, and we don't send anything out. So everything stays in-house with us. We have 4 machine techs, 2 Republicans, 2 Democratic machine techs that are currently right now doing logic and accuracy testing on each individual machine. So we will test every piece of equipment that we are going to be sending out for the election, down to the printers. Every single thing that we do is checked and double-checked and ensured that it is working properly. They are essentially doing an election right now. They are marking ballots they've been given a predetermined schedule. When they run them through, they should get the outcome that it comes out to that is predetermined. And then it's run through election night reporting to ensure that everything is being reported correctly in the precincts and the totals. And so once that is finished, they go back and they will zero everything out. And so we're going to be starting with nothing on the machines. And then we will be having a public test Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning. And anybody's invited to come. And they can see how we lock and seal all the machines, and we ensure that there's nothing on the machines when they go out. It's all zeroed. So all the seals that the Election Commission will be sealing Thursday, election morning, they will be the same seals. And so it's just a really good chain of custody to ensure that they sealed it up here with 0 votes. You're opening it with 0 votes. And so there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of checks and balances to ensure that everything is done in proper order.
I want to thank you for being with us. We're out of time, but again, today is the last day to register to vote. If you don't know if you're correctly registered, call 615-444-0216 and ask and get a prompt answer. And if you're not, you got till 4:30 today to get registered.
That's correct. And don't forget to vote early or on Election Day. Polls will be open 7 to 7 on Election Day.
Tammy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, that's it for a Monday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a magnificent day.